solve your problems. They're in their 30s, disabled and queer. Agony onto a funny and modern. If you want it solved, Em and Maddie are here.
Hi, my name's Emily Dash.
And I'm Madeline Stewart. We're here on Gadigal land of the Eora Nation.
To solve your problems.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, everyone, for sending in your problems. Please send us more. You can message us on Instagram or email us at emmamaddy.solveyourproblems@gmail.com. How else can I see us, Em?
We are going to Adelaide super soon. This is the last time you'll hear us talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah, get your tickets. Hurry, hurry.
We're excited.
We're so good.
As always. Anyway, Maddie, what's been on your mind?
Em, I need to talk to you about dreams.
Okay, let's do that.
I dream with two hands. Like when I dream, I have two hands. Is that weird? Like, I don't know why that is. Like, I was born with one arm, so I have my left arm to my elbow, yes. I would say, for those of you listening rather than watching. And when I dream, I have two hands. And I don't know whether this is like a reflection of the world that I see around me or whether my little lizard brain hasn't connected the fact that I have one arm. Because I'm always reaching for things, like something will fall and I'll go to catch it with my left hand or, you know, I'll just constantly forget.
I wonder how that goes with, like, do you ever sleepwalk?
I do. I do sleepwalk and I sleep talk.
So are you there acting like you have two hands if you're sleepwalking?
I mean, no. Usually my sleepwalking is I will wander around the house. I've woken myself up by opening the balcony door and the cold air of the night has woken me up. So probably sometimes I worry I've got to lock doors.
Probably a good thing that you woke up then.
Yeah, definitely. But when I dream, like I'm doing things like I'm experiencing things that I've never experienced in my entire life. Like I don't know what it feels like to intertwine my fingers.
So when you wake up, is that like a shock to the system for you? Like, do you have to, like, accept that again?
I think maybe that's the reason why I keep forgetting I have one arm. Because, like, yeah. Do you dream, when you dream, Em, do you dream that you're in a wheelchair? Like, are you using your wheelchair in your dreams?
Well, see, this is the bizarre thing because when I think about it, I think mostly I dream, like, you don't see yourself, right? You're just like from the first person.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know. I've never thought about it. But does that mean you like dream outside of yourself?
Yeah, sometimes I see myself as like a character and I'm watching myself do things. But other times I'm looking down and I can see my body and I can see both of my hands doing things. Like if I'm dreamed that I'm cooking, I'm using two hands to cook. Like I'm not cooking with one hand.
But you can see your
Yeah, I can
other
see
hand.
my hands.
Wow.
Yeah. It's so bizarre unless I have a dream where I'm like frustrated around something, you know, where it's inherently one-handed.
So it would make you see what you're missing, I guess.
I guess so, but what I'm asking is why is my brain doing that? Like why? Like do I just not comprehend that I have one arm? It's been 30 years. I've never had two hands. Like I'm not an amputee. I've never experienced it.
I feel like you could be studied.
I should be. I think I should be. There's certainly something going on up there.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Let us all know what the other people listening think. Whether you dream or see yourself in your dream or what you can do in your dream. I know some people can't fly.
Oh, I've done that.
That's weird.
Yeah, I used to be a lucid dreamer as a child. I used to fly and go to different dreams and control. But I think it makes you more exhausted when you wake up.
Yeah. But do you, like, call that into yourself or do you just have to wait?
It depends. Sometimes just the overthinking of it and the awareness that I'm dreaming will wake me up. It depends.
Interesting. Wow.
Very interesting. But I've been thinking about all these like sensations I've been missing out on. Like I don't know what it feels like to clap. Like I don't know what my claps sound like. Like I can do a version with my hand and my arm, but like, yeah. you know, but then at the
Yeah.
same time, if I had two hands, I wouldn't get half-price manicures, would I?
Or like being able to do two things at once.
Yeah, I don't know what that feels like. You know, I don't know what it feels like to be ambidextrous. What if I'm left-handed?
You'll never know, I guess.
I'll never know.
But the thing is, I always like to say that I'm ambidextrous, but both my hands are equally fun. So, you know.
Yeah, maybe I'm asking the wrong person. Like, what am I
Yes.
missing out on him?
No, but I think with our different experiences, we both miss out on different things. So the other day, my mum had cleaned our floors in my house, and she said, "You'll never know what it's like to walk on a clean floor." And I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're not missing out on much.
Or like even the most random things of like dancing with people in a full body type of way. I don't know.
Yeah. But having said that, we're not going to be pity parties. We have a lot of great things we can do
Yeah.
that, like, disability enables us to live, like,
Correct.
differently. But sometimes I think I'm like, oh, it would be just nice to experience that once.
Yes.
Just to know what it feels like, you know?
Yes. Or I love it whenever I hear something on the news of, the benefits of exercise and how good exercise is for you and how it's going to prolong your life. And I sit there and go, well, I'm fucked then, actually.
Yeah. People always tell me about, like, yoga and things, like, around strength building. And I'm like, you want to ruin my only wrist? Like,
Yes.
it's already pretty dodgy from overuse. Like, I'm not going to do more yoga and, like, lifting heavy things. I'm going to protect it. So that's my excuse not to be in the gym.
Yes.
It's pretty mild excuse, really.
It's a very mild excuse.
I just don't want to go.
I always tell myself that, like, if I was fully able-bodied, I would be like a person that goes for a run every day and all this kind of thing. But I actually don't think that's the case.
No, I think those things too. I always think, oh, if I had two hands, I would have learned how to play the piano, how to play guitar. But then I'm like, let's be real, Madeline. Probably not.
Probably not, no. I don't envision myself to be any kind of gym junkie.
No way. I think we're perfect, just as we
Yes.
are. It's correct.
Absolutely, it's correct. Should we go to a question?
Sure, Em. Let's go to a question.
Okay, guys. When is the appropriate time to speak up about a friend's relationship that you don't approve of?
This is a tricky one, isn't it?
It is. I think it depends on the reason you don't approve.
Yeah, and how long have they been? Yeah, when is a good time? Because if they've been together for ages, it might be awkward. Like, they might be like, why are you bringing it up now?
Yeah, I think if you're really going to say something, you have to say something super early. Otherwise, it's like speak now or forever hold your peace.
And alternatively, if there's like new information that's come to light or they've done something recently that changed your opinion of them, you need to speak pretty soon, I think. Like, there is a window, I believe. And once the window's closed, you're kind of just like, well.
Yeah.
But also, how drastic is this complaint?
But, like, also, with the new information, it depends on what it is and whether you have a responsibility to disclose. I don't know.
Yeah.
And how much you know about the other person and how much you know about their relationship. And
If it's something serious, you should always speak to the person, no matter what.
Straight
if
up.
you feel like they're in physical danger or something, always speak up. You should do it sooner rather than later. And if you feel like you've done the right thing by helping your friend or warning them about something, sure. But if it's okay, if it's fickle, if it's surface level, like you just don't like them,
then
you don't like their vibe.
Then I think you say something early on, like I said, or you don't say anything at all.
Yeah.
I think what's difficult is if someone breaks up with someone and you cuss them out or whatever, and
And they come back
they
together.
get back together, and it's like you gotta be careful because you can't take that back.
Oh, yeah.
So, and also, like, how much do people actually want to know that you don't like their partner?
Yeah, how much feedback does the person even want? Like, does the person want to know?
It also depends so it depends what you know about the person, but it also depends on your friendship.
Yeah.
So I have a friend that I've known for like, I don't know, 15 plus years. She's lucky I like her husband because if I didn't, then she'd know about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but also you're the kind of person who would just tell people.
Yeah, but not if I've known you for 5 minutes.
Yeah, no.
Right.
Then it's none of your business.
Exactly.
It's hard to pick.
I love these questions
Me
because
too.
any one of them you could talk about for like the whole episode.
Yeah, I think sometimes we need more information, you know? It's like, yeah, is it a long-term friend? Is it like just that their partner doesn't feel like it suits them? Yeah, I think it's hard, especially when, imagine if you spoke up about the person and just said, hey, they're giving me weird vibes, and then they get married and then you're stuck with them for the rest of their life. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It can be tough.
It's like, it'd be wild.
But in the end, they are the two consenting adults. And if they want to spend time together and they think it works, who are you to say anything?
Absolutely. But I mean, like, what if, okay, here's a juicy example, Maddie.
Okay, I'm here
What if your friend is in a relationship and you find out one or the other is cheating? What do you do?
Oh my gosh, that is quite intense. I think I'd speak to the person who is cheating and I would say, hey, this is what I've heard. You need to tell your partner or I will.
hectic.
That's been done before, but I don't know because it's not
Have
been.
you been in a similar situation?
No, but someone I know was caught cheating and they were given that ultimatum by their friend and they said, I'm going to tell your partner unless you tell them, you know, you've got to tell them yourself, I'll give you a week.
That is such a bold choice.
It was wild choice, but I don't know whether I would do it, but I don't know. That is certainly something I don't know how to go back.
That's a bit of a risk to take.
Is it because you're like saying to the person, you've been caught out doing the naughty? Like, you've got to be honest.
It's fully not your business.
Yeah.
Surely.
I mean, in that scenario with the friend who gave the ultimatum to another friend, they were close friends. They were like besties.
Okay, yeah, unless they all know each other. Then okay.
I don't know. I don't know
Wow.
what to do in that scenario because, like, again, it's not your business, but at the same time, like, if you care about your friend,
If you care about your friend.
and you're being brought into it by knowing this information.
Yes.
Oh, that's so tough, Em.
It's
What would you do in that scenario?
Again, it depends on the friend and whether I support the relationship and want it to continue, or I think cheating's a funny one because I don't think that I would do it, but I can see, you know, why people would.
Yeah.
So it's a very complex choice and it's a complex thing
Again, this is just me.
to get involved in.
Yeah, it's like a blanket, like response. I guess I think you need to think about the scenario. Whoever sent in that question, like just think about the scenario, feel the vibe. You understand what's at risk because everything has a cost. And I think it through. Think about the consequences of it and if that's sits well with you.
So another question I have that I'm just going to throw at you.
Why not?
then.
Let's do it.
If your friend breaks up with their partner and you've been friends with both these people, do you try and stay friends with both the people or do you stay friends with the one that you're friends with first?
I think it depends on the people. I think it depends on the people. I've been in this scenario before where I've had two friends that have broken up and I was still friends with both of them. But in the end, like it actually what made the decision for me was, after the breakup, one of the people were much more emotionally mature in the the aftermath of the breakup, you know, sharing social spaces with the ex and dealing with it very maturely. But the other person wasn't. They were behaving like a complete child, being like, you can't invite them to the party because they're my ex. And it's kind of like, well, get over yourself. We're all adults. We've all been dating other people. Like, people bump into exes, grow up. So that kind of dampened my friendship with that person because I was like, you're not responding very well. It's like, you know, it didn't ruin my friendship, but you know, like when you're playing Sims and you get like the negative emotional reaction thing, it's like, yeah, you're maybe losing points.
Yes.
It's not that I'm not going to be your friend. It's just like, oh, I wish you responded a bit better than that.
I love this.
So I think that is a bit of that plays a part in it too, in my experience.
Breakups bring out the worst in people, honestly.
It certainly shows your true colours.
Yes.
Yeah. I have mad respect for people who can be very mature in breakups because it's hard and it's emotionally upsetting. And I think, some people who respond well after breakups show care for their ex even though they're not together, as like respect as a human being.
Yeah, it's hard to do.
Yeah. Especially if they're dickheads.
Especially, yes. So we go to another question.
Yeah, go on. I love that. Yes, go.
On the topic of Sims, I have a Sims-related question for you girls.
Yes, we love Sims.
Giddy up. Is it weird to make your friends into Sims characters? Should I tell them? What if they find out I let them drown in the pool?
Oh, wow. Also, I can't believe The Sims is still around.
I love The Sims. Sims 4.
I used to be obsessed with Sims, actually. But I used to have, like, all these animal Sims. So I used to have, like, Sim Park and Sim Safari. The thing started with Sim City and you'd have the little alien invasion.
Yeah.
Classic.
I said when I was a kid,
entertainment.
When I was a kid, I didn't have that because, like, I think my cousins had The Sims, but I didn't really have it growing up. And now I'm an adult. I got my own money, don't I, So I'm playing The Sims 4, and you better believe I've got all of the expansion packs. I've got country living, island living. I got the Japanese, like the skiing in Japan one. It's so good. And I must admit, much like the question asker person, I'm obsessed with Sims, and I have made myself on Sims, but I've not made like any of my friends.
Does your Sim have pink hair?
Of course she does, but I have to say, Sims, there's no like disability in Sims.
Oh.
My Sim has 2 arms. I think they're missing a beat there. They should have like Sims disability expansion pack where there's like ramps and wheelchairs and like you can have different disability.
Yes, The Sims needs to get with the times.
Yeah, get with the times. Why are you alienating a whole group of people?
Yes. Do you know there's a Sim movie?
Oh, I'm excited for that. Is Margot Robbie going to be in it?
That's
what
no
I heard.
idea. I think so.
I hope so. She'd be gay. She'd be great. In like Simlish, she'd be like, Hulu, and like drowning in the pool. I'd love that.
Simlish kind of freaks me out.
Yeah, it's
Also, what freaks me out used to be, it's very 90s of me, Furbies.
they're creepy, aren't they? They're like little gremlins.
Really creepy. But yes, back to the question. It depends, I think, what you make your Sim friends do. Like, if you want to put them in a house and it's burning down, then maybe you have a problem.
Yeah, maybe you want to murder your friends. I think if they accidentally die, you can just respawn them. But also, I think it's strange. Like, who goes up to their friends and goes, hey, I've made a Sim of you. They're going really well. Their career is thriving, unlike yours. And they've got 3 kids, unlike you, and a dog, but they've all drowned in the pool.
And the Grim Reaper is coming to... I remember the Grim Reaper for some reason in The Sims.
Yeah, and it turns up, and then you just end up being like a little pile of ash that you sweep up.
Yes.
Sometimes you get like a little... a gravestone. But I'm all for building a house, and oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm telling you, I'm a bit of a psychopath when it comes to Sims. I will build a basement, put an art freak in there, like seriously, like an emo guy whose only obsession is painting, and I lock him in the basement and he paints and paints and paints. And then I sell all of his paintings to keep the family above
my
afloat.
God.
And we just keep him alive with little meals, but he has no door, he can't get out.
Wow. I wonder what the craziest thing our listeners have ever done for their Sims is.
Write in, tell us what you've done to your Sims. But don't worry, Em, I've not made a sim of you.
Oh, good.
But now I will. Maybe I'll go home this week. I'll make a nice sim of you and me.
Maybe you'll lock me in a basement.
Yeah, I'll lock you in the basement and make you be like some sort of professional. What job would you want in Sims?
I like the painting.
Yeah, okay, I'll
Or
make
a
you a painter.
baking.
Yeah,
or
I'll make
like-
you a cook.
Yes.
Nice. And then I'll drown you in the pool. No one outshines Maddie.
Not yet anyway.
No. I think that's fine. I think to answer that, I think it's fine to make your friends and stuff and celebrities, and it's just fun. It's just silly.
People do it for Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Like, actually, there are all these people that make Taylor Swift Sims.
Oh, she'd be so pretty.
She is very pretty. I love her.
You do love her. You'd make a Taylor Swift sim and make her marry you.
I would do that.
Just to see what your
Queer Taylor
kids look
Swift
like.
Expansion pack.
Taylor Swift expansion pack. Okay. We're giving EA too many free content.
Copyright.
Yeah, copyright. Can't steal our ideas. Okay, next question, Josh. Go on.
I'm sick of interacting with colleagues at work. What should I do when they keep trying to chat?
Oh, yes. I'm one of those people who talk to people at work, and that's why I shouldn't work in an office. I'm such a distraction.
This is an interesting one because I have to work with people all the time, right? I always have people in my space. And you can always tell whether I want to talk to them by the amount of reciprocal communication I get back.
Yeah.
So if someone talks to me and I want to talk to them, I'll be like, yes, answering your questions with more than a monosyllable. But if I get monosyllabic, you know that you want to leave me alone. So I think pay attention to, like, how you're responding to people, because if you keep paying them attention and stuff, they'll keep engaging with you.
Yeah. So, like, read the room.
Read
pretty
the
much.
room.
Yeah. When I was working in an office, some people used to put like a little note on their desk, like "Do not disturb," or would send like an email being like, "You can approach me in these hours." Sometimes people would have like a little post-it on their back, like "Don't talk to me." It didn't always work.
But what's bad with the post-it note on their back is that someone else could put that there.
Yeah, I guess so.
So if you wanted people to talk to you and then they're not talking to you, you better check your back because someone might have put it.
Yeah.
Little mean, don't talk to me
Yeah,
post-it.
don't talk to me. I'm an office bully. Imagine that, finding that in your back. Ooh.
Oh dear.
I also find that if you want to be left alone, work from home. I think we should normalise working from home. What is it with all these companies making people come back into the office? Like, you work more productively at home, I believe.
Correct. And working from home, at least for me, is much more accessible.
Yes, I agree. But if you do need to work in the office and you're getting overstimulated by people talking to you, I would say have some space. If there's a quiet space, like a booth or something you can sit in, that might be nice. But also, like, maybe set up a system with your colleagues or something, like a
You
physical
could make
system.
yourself a little quiet space, a little sensory.
Yeah. Or over the ear headphones. When I was working in the office, they had a rule where, like, if you see someone with headphones on, don't talk to them. If the headphones are off, you can talk to them. So it's like a physical thing.
I like
Yeah,
that.
I think that's nice. Yeah.
That's good.
But also you could just be like, stop it, Sharon, stop talking to me. Which is like, I think, well, they're all called like Sharons
Yes.
and Susans and, you know, from The Office.
I love how we
Friends.
don't work in an office and we just have this, like...
Yeah, I work very
Idea.
fleetingly in offices. I find them so fun, because I work from home. I'm a comedian. When I get an opportunity to work in an office, I'm always a busybody. I'm always asking, what are you working on? Who are you emailing? I am definitely the person in this question. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I'm that annoying colleague, and I am so sorry, but I just am.
But that's okay because you're friendly.
Yeah, and I work mostly from home. I think I'm
Yes.
just excited to see people.
Yes. I think we solved it.
I think we solved it. Headphones, I think, is a good physical thing.
Yes.
Yeah, lots of options for you. Josh, what have you got for us?
Well, I have a follow-up question that in my mind is at least from the same office.
Okay.
Maybe it's even about you as well, Maddie.
Oh my gosh, is it all about me? Is
It
it
could
just
be.
ex-colleagues writing in? Like, Maddie, get a clue.
Potentially. I'm in love with my colleague and I can't stop thinking about her. I can't tell if she's into me. Help.
Oh, that's definitely about me. I think everyone's a bit in love with me in the office.
Oh, I think everyone should just be in love with you in life.
Thanks, Sam. Thanks,
very
everyone at
lovable.
home. I assume people watching love me a little.
Yes.
Little crush. Valentine's Day, send me cards next year.
Yes.
We'll get around to it. Put it in your diary for later.
In love with a colleague. Wow. Well, if you think it's reasonable and you might have a shot, I think go for it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, you just gotta be a bit careful.
Look up your HR's policy of inter-office dating. Educate yourself before you make decisions.
Yes.
And then you can judge whether or not you want to risk it.
I
Do you want to risk a secret office romance? I love that. I would love a secret office romance, Sam.
Me too.
Sexy. Let's make out in the
Very
photocopier.
sexy. Okay, let's do that.
Yeah,
let's
you know what I mean?
find a photocopier.
Yeah, little photocopier. Where else can you make out in an office? In the accessible bathrooms? We don't condone that. Only if you're both disabled and you both need a pee.
Yes.
Then you can make out, I think.
Yes, no, a secret office romance would be
Cute.
cute.
I like it.
Go for it if you think you might have a shot.
Don't listen to HR. Go for it.
I always listen to HR. But, you know,
I think sometimes a dream of mine, sometimes a bit of me is like, what if the CEO falls in love with you? And, you know, the idea of like glamour, money is involved. I think then go for it. Shoot your shot.
so I think there's a movie about that.
50 Shades of Grey?
Yeah. Not that one. Another one. But, yeah, no, I'm fully in support of that. I think that would be super.
Yeah. Try and get your CEO, billionaire boss to fall in love with you in the office.
Yes.
I think that's cute.
Just as a challenge.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Have a go at that cash.
Yes.
You got it, you flaunt it.
There you go.
But always listen to HR and make appropriate decisions. We take no responsibility if people lose their job for flirtatious actions in the office.
Correct.
I felt like I needed to say that.
Correct.
Have fun. Josh, shall we have another question?
Well, it is time for our favourite segment once again. It's time for Dolly Doctors, where I go through some old Dolly magazines and I pull some questions from the sealed section for you guys to try and answer.
God bless that sealed section.
Yay. What would we do without it?
Okay, this question comes in from Nicole via email. I've got stretch marks all over my boobs. At first they were small, but now my breasts are scarred all over with them. What can I do to make them go away?
This is a tricky one.
Yeah. I think stretch marks are normal. Lots of people get stretch marks when they go through puberty, like on your hips and on your
Yes.
thighs and sometimes on your breasts and your bum. I have some
Yes.
on my hips, but I think nowadays there's treatments for it.
You can get like different oils and
Yeah.
stuff.
I think it's to do with like Yeah, it's just a growth spurt in your skin. But I think it's pretty normal, hey?
I think that we are body positive on this podcast, though.
Absolutely. I think all bodies as they are lovely and wonderful. But also you have the option to make changes to your body if you require or desire. Yeah. I think, yeah, there's lots of oils. And, like, now, when this question was written, it was like, 20 years ago. So, like, taking your mind back to 2005.
Yes.
Like, it was such a hard time for your body, and especially as a teenager, like, you know, things like stretch marks and, you know, anything happening to your body when you're a teenager, you'd freak out about it, hey?
It felt very apocalyptic.
It did. Like, body hair. Oh, my gosh. You're wearing a tank top and you haven't shaved your armpits. Worst day of your life.
Body hair I just let grow, honestly. I don't shave.
Same. But, like, it's on and off. It's seasonal shaving now. But, like, when you were a teenager, it felt so huge. But
yes.
I think now as an adult, we know that so many people have stretch marks. So many people have different kinds of bodies. And that's lovely and it's beautiful. And I'm sure, you know, if you look at some Renaissance paintings, take yourself to an art gallery. So many different bodies, and I bet you there's a drawing of Aphrodite and she got stretch marks too.
That's true.
You know?
That should be our quote for the podcast. Aphrodite got stretch marks.
Yeah, she's a voluptuous lady. She's got some lovely titties and hippies and bums on her. She's got thighs, and no doubt the woman that they painted Aphrodite off, like the muse, probably had stretch marks. Because
yes,
you do when you grow breasts and hips and stuff.
Indeed.
Yeah. Bring it back. Make it sexy.
Yes. Embrace the stretch.
Embrace it. Your body is perfect. But stretch marks treatments involve, like, lotions, potions, oils and whatnot.
Yes.
I reckon Kim K has stretch marks, so I think it's fine.
Yeah.
She's the most beautiful woman in the world. Some people think, you obviously think, like Taylor Swift is the most beautiful woman in the world. And so many, like, beauty comes in different packages is what I'm saying. And some of those packages have stretch marks and they're beautiful too.
Yeah, I agree.
We've solved it. We've solved it.
Correct.
Okay, Josh, give us our next question.
Okay, final question for the episode. This one, I think, Maddie, knowing a little bit about your viewing habits is particularly geared towards you. But we'll see how you go anyway.
Okay.
I think I'm addicted to reality TV. How do I become a documentary diva?
I love reality TV.
Me too.
I'm so trashy, I'm disgusting. But I also love a good doco.
Me too.
You can be both. You can love both. You need the yin and the yang.
But there's like a good cross. There are some things that are like a good cross between documentary and reality television.
Okay, so if we're easing ourselves...
start with that.
Yeah, if we're easing ourselves into docos, where would you recommend we go?
I mean, I've been watching this show called Life After Lockup, which is it's a reality show around like the Gypsy Rose story. Which I think is kind of interesting because it's a reality show, but it's also got a lot of sort of documentary, real life elements to it. So that might be something that people want to get into if they want to start watching something a bit more doco and a bit less reality.
Yeah. I think there's like a hyper, like... kind of genres in there, like a reality doco kind of thing. I love it. I'm really into those kind of shows. But also, like, there's some really interesting docos, like Chimp. Is it Chimp Crazy? Is that what it's called?
Yes, is that about the woman that raised the chimp?
Yeah, and so, like, it's a documentary, but it also has, like, elements of things that are, like, really dramatic and really kind of, like, because I think what's great about reality shows is that it's clickbaity, you know, and it keeps you hooked, it keeps you going. There's cliffhangers and stuff. And I think that's what you'll find in docos like Chimp Crazy and like Tiger King. We all love Tiger King in lockdown. That I think is like a hybrid between the two. And then you can move on to like, what's some like hardcore docos like My Octopus Teacher and like
Oh, yeah,
some
that's
really
the one that
lovely
won the Oscar.
yeah, so there's some really good docos out there.
Yeah.
And I think like all things, if you just find your niche, like you'll be able to enjoy the docos. Like you and I love true crime docos. We love
Yes.
cult docos. So like find what you're interested in learning about and there'll be a doco on it.
Please, friends, watch The Vow. It's one of the best documentaries
The
I have
Vow.
ever seen.
Yeah. It's
Pretty hardcore, though.
Yeah.
That one's not reality type.
Not for the faint-hearted either.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd recommend getting into those kind of like softer, more fun and enjoyable docos. My question to you,
As
Em,
you goes.
I love Come Dine With Me, the UK Come Dine With Me. Where does that fall between reality and doco? Because we're certainly documenting.
So what
some
is
people.
the difference between this showing my ignorance? I get confused between like Come Dine With Me and like My Kitchen Rules.
Yeah, so Come Dine With Me, they have pretty much like no experience in the kitchen, and they're just inviting these groups of people, like the same group of 5 people go to each person's house every night that week and then vote on the best experience. So it's like they judge you on your cooking, your presentation and the entertainment. But I'm telling you, some people have never cooked in their life because we're seeing them prepare the food and I'm like, I couldn't eat that.
Yeah.
Some of it is horrible. It looks like actual poo on a plate.
Oh, wow.
And it's just awful. And what is it with the British cooking so much fish? Like they're just boiling fish in milk almost every episode. And that makes me feel sick.
I really hate eating fish.
Yeah, I hate eating dinner at dinner tables with like a dinner party with everyone watching you. I feel like that's my most uncomfortable scenario.
The 2 things I won't eat are beetroot and fish.
Yeah. I used to hate beetroot. And then someone invited me over and they made like a beetroot dal. And I was like, oh. And you know when you like, that's the only thing to eat, but you know you don't like beetroot and you just eat it. And I loved it. And so
See.
then I was like, I'm a beetroot gal.
See, nah, I would just not eat it.
You'd go hungry.
Yeah.
Would you? Yeah, if you want to come down with me, you'd just be like, I'm not eating any of this. You're getting 0.
Yeah.
I love that. I'd pay to see you and come dine with me.
Would
That'd be
you?
great. If you could be on a reality TV show, what would it be?
The Bachelor. I've always said I want to be on The Bachelor.
Would you be one of the contestants or would you be the Bachelorette?
Either one.
I think you'd be great as the Bachelorette.
Yeah.
And just have like 20 people in front of you that you're
Yeah.
like, one of you are lucky enough to go home with me
Yes.
and work for it. Impress me.
You are so right. I want to be the next Bachelorette.
I wouldn't mind I used to think I wouldn't mind being on Maths, Married at First Sight. But then I see how the press hounds the poor people who are on that show, and I'm like, maybe not.
See, the problem with me, yes, I would need to be the Bachelorette other than being on The Bachelor, because the problem with me is I think I tend towards being a jealous person.
Oh, yeah, you would compete.
I really have a bit of, what is it called, that main character syndrome.
Is that like a nice way of saying I'm really self-centered?
Basically, yes. Yeah. That's basically it. Anyway, I think that we've given you some good recommendations for,
Yeah, for sure.
reality, documentary reality. Enjoy.
Enjoy. You have a great pick. What? We solved it. That's another end of another great podcast, Em.
It is.
We smashed it today.
We did.
We hope our answers helped you at home.
Or maybe they didn't, but just let us know.
Yeah. I hope you enjoyed it. Catch you next week and don't forget to send us your questions. Bye, everyone.
See you next week. Bye-bye.